Hi, this video is going to cover the tools that we have available both in Docs and in Equatio to help you make math worksheets. So the first tool that you have is in Docs, and it's underneath Insert, and it's Equation. And this is similar to Equation Editor, not quite the same, but very similar. You'll have this little blue box show up. You have your different options up here. You'll notice that you still have a lot of the same options you have in Equation Editor. Some little differences. So for instance, if I put in a fraction, instead of hitting the down arrow to get to my denominator from the numerator, I'm going to hit enter and then put in my my denominator. To get out, just like in Word, I'm going to click my right arrow, and that pulls me out of the fraction. So now I can add more things. And then if I want to get out of the equation tool altogether, I hit the right arrow key again. And now I could start typing and finish a question. Another option that you have is to add shapes or images or any kind of diagram, really. To do that, you click Insert, Drawing, and then New. It'll open up the Google Drawing app as a pop-up. So for instance, if we were doing right triangles, I could come to Shapes, click on the right triangle, and draw my triangle. And then up here in the toolbar, I have options to change the border color, the fill color. I can also change the weight of the line. I can also, using these squares on the side, change the shape of the triangle, and using the circle at the top, I can rotate it. And then to insert it, I click Save and Close. Now notice that this kind of changes my format here a little bit. It doesn't look great. The way I can fix that is by clicking on the image that I inserted and then selecting Wrap Text and changing the margin to 0. I can also move my numbers down from the auto formatting by just hitting Enter a couple of times. And if I want to move the triangle around, now that it's on Wrap Text, I can just use the arrows to move it around. To keep your auto formatting, if all you have is an image and no writing for a question, you're going to hit space bar a couple of times, come down to the next number, and then you should be able to just move your number down. Another option you have in Docs is to insert symbols. So for instance, if I wanted to put in 65 degrees, I can take 65, come up to Insert, and come down to Special Characters. It will default to putting your cursor in the search bar, and I find that to be the fastest way. I can just type in degree, select the special character or symbol that I want, and then when I click it, it automatically inserts. Now another option is Equatio. And there are videos already on how to use Equatio, but just to give you some ideas, one thing you can enter easily is a graph, and it uses Desmos as its tool to create the graph. You just enter in whatever you want to graph over here on the left. It will show up on the right, and then you click Insert Graph. Equatio always inserts as an image, so once it's in there, you're going to be able to edit it just like you would any other image. The graphs tend to come in kind of big, so I usually make them smaller. And just like with the other images, if you wrap the text and change the margin to 0, it'll help it line up with the numbers better. Other options that you have are in Math Space. The nice place to do that here is with the Smart Tools. So you have the compass, which will create angles, and you can control the size of the angle if that's important for your worksheet for there to be accuracy. You have regular polygons, fraction circles, fraction bars, a coordinate plane, as well as a grid. Students have a protractor they can use, and there's also a number line if you need to insert a number line. In the shapes, you also have polygons, as well as some images towards the bottom that might help. So you have cylinders, triangular prisms. You also have images that might help with word problems. If you want to put in a diagram, those are all in there. Once you're done with whatever you want to have inserted, instead of coming down to the bottom in Math Space, you're going to come up to the top right where this blue circle icon is and click that button. And then it's going to insert it as an image, just like it did with the graph. And you can move the image around once you've selected wrap text. Notice that it always pulls in the degrees with the angles. You can just crop that out once you are in your document. And those are the basic tools that we can use in Docs to create a math worksheet.